Drones by Ajibol. The IT issue deals with drones and their increased use within military efforts as well as the government. My article talks about how unmanned aerial systems are being used heavily by the US and how presenting an autonomous system as they act independently is a concern for most people, and the fact that these drones lack a sense of emotion or any type of human relation, meaning that there is no concern for other human life. Safety that they are presented with when having these drones survey their area. In terms of the IT background, the drones are initially manned at a base with 180 members at this base, and from this base, collectively these members send or relay signals to another base that has a 1 to 2 man so-called pilot, and from this pilot, signals are sent from this pilot to a satellite within either outer space or that is connected to the drone, and from that the drone interprets the signals and are able to be located as well as put in a position where they're able to survey the area that is either highly populated or of an interest in the US's eyes. The pilot is able to be maneuvered by members at a base, and from there, signals can be relayed to this drone. The coordinates that are sent to the pilot are also sent from the pilot to the drones, and from that, drones can be used for spying as well as missiles that are sent to certain places that are of high populations or have increased warfare. The drones present a satellite at the top of its head where signals can be sent from the drone or to the drone from a pilot that is manned at a base. A camera slash monitor is placed under the drone, utilized for spying as well as locating in terms of GPS where a drone should be placed. So the stakeholders within the whole IT system includes the public, the government, most increasingly the military, uh, the public outside of the U.S. So in terms of other countries and other people that are affected, as well as opposing forces, i.e., terrorists, and then military officials of other countries. So in terms of the positive effects, drones have the ability to watch and wait, meaning that they can stand by in a certain place and survey the area for up to 18 hours. And having this aspect, there's increased watch over places that have increased warfare or that present an issue for the U.S. officials. Also, the drones work against fixed targets, meaning that anything stationary is able to be targeted by these drones. Another positive impact would be that there's less manpower being used by drones, meaning that because drones aren't manned, there would be considerable amounts of less deaths within the use of these drones. In terms of negative impacts, there's increased use of machines, which most people believe is a downfall to the use of drones. Civilian casualties resulting from drone strikes are not accounted for, and because drones are autonomous systems, they have no concern for actual life in terms of where missiles are headed and in terms of their accuracy from that missiles. The negative impact is the security and public concern, and whether or not the public trusts these drones in terms of warfare and spying over other countries. Security and surveillance are the main issues that are present within this IT system. And from this, there's an understanding of how people outside the US have a bad perception of the US and whether or not they're willing to be more trusting in the future. And the impact of drones seems to lead to further war in countries, and there's this possibility because the use of drones are becoming more and more within the US's control. Also, there's a threat that is very limited but potential that 10 years from now, drones can be increasingly used rather than manpower, and from that, there is less of a sense of control that the US feels that they have. One possible solution for this IT issue is the increased input from public on drone use in terms, and this regards how the public should have more input or more say as to how drones should be used within the U.S. and whether or not they should be as invasive as they are nowadays. The solution also includes how drones that are manned improve accuracy, meaning that drones nowadays that are used from an autonomous system seemingly present a problem that they are not concerned for human life, but rather just targeting and going through with what they're targeting at. The second solution is to completely stop the use of drones, is to increase ground warfare and try to overall decrease the spending on military technology and focus more on relations in terms of U.S. relations with outside countries. Because by doing this, it would limit the use of drones and would possibly present less of an issue of use of drones within the public and other countries. The initial solution is a little more practical in that it includes more public input as well as focusing more on the ethical and social concerns, while the second solution isn't really a viable solution in that the military won't completely stop the use of drones because it's something that has been working for them time and time again. And also the second solution doesn't take into account the long-term effects that the drones had. The initial solution is better, is that it takes into account public perception and as well as limiting civilian casualties, and presents different ways for military to look at how to utilize drone warfare. These are the different sources I use, and that is my presentation.